Mm-hmm. Anything. How you doing?
Good.
Can you just stay like at least 6 feet away from me, man?
Oh, are you vaccinated?
I am, but I'm also high risk, so you know.
Are you?
I am, yeah.
It is. I'm in public, so I'm not gonna. Sorry about that. But I'm just curious. Why are you protesting this?
Because I think you guys aren't really inclusive of the community around you.
How do you figure?
Well, let's see. You won't let anyone besides American flags, Second Amendment, or
That's right.
law enforcement. You can't fly flags except those. You claim you're not political, but these movements are.
How are they political?
The thin blue line.
What I'd like to do.
Okay.
I'd like to offer you 3 minutes when everybody gets here. I'd like to offer you 3 minutes to explain your position to all of us.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, can this person move their truck?
Oh, I don't. I'm not in charge of his truck, so I'm not gonna do that. But I'm happy to give you 3 minutes to tell us why we're bad people.
I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm just saying.
You're saying that, ma'am.
I'm saying you're.
Black lives matter.
Yeah, they do.
Does this man's life not matter?
Black lives matter does not mean.
Those children's lives not
Black
matter.
lives matter does not mean white lives don't matter.
What does it mean?
It means that right now black lives are less valuable in this country and are treated differently.
You're entirely wrong about that. You're completely uneducated on the matter.
Oh, am I? Okay.
You're completely uneducated on the matter.
We have black members.
Okay, that's great.
So
I'm just here supporting the. I'm just here supporting the Black Lives
You're
Matter
actually
movement.
not. What you're doing is a disservice to the black community.
How
You're
so?
doing a disservice to the black community.
How
And
so?
I'll tell you why. Because this kind of thing, what it does is it subjugates the black community. What you're telling the black community is you're much smarter than they are. That without you, ma'am, that they are not capable of achieving what the rest of us have. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that. That's
you're
not what.
absolutely saying that.
That's not what
if
Black
the
Lives
black
Matter.
community needs you to speak that, then you're telling the black community they are too stupid.
How is supporting Black lives and Black liberty and Black freedom stupid?
Tell me how it's not been.
How it's not.
How it has not been.
There is a history in this country of Black lives not mattering.
How?
First of all, slavery, Jim Crow.
Happened many, many years ago. And
Jim Crow.
by
There are
the
people
way, was
still.
Biden was a Jim Crow supporter, and
I didn't bring up Biden. All right, this is not.
you brought up Black Lives Matter. You brought up that the Liberty Lap does not equal patriotism. Ma'am, you're uneducated.
Because you're excluding people
We're
in
not
this.
excluding anybody. We're
Saying-
telling you you're welcome to come and join us, but you're not welcome to be divisive.
See-
you, ma'am, are being divisive. The American flag is not divisive.
There's not an American flag. That's a fucking thin blue line.
It is a thin blue line. Do
That
you not believe that this country needs law and order? Do you not believe that when you're in your neighborhood and something happens, somebody breaks into your home, that you're not going to call the police and have them defend you? Do you not believe that? Do you believe that is entirely unnecessary in this life, law and order? Ma'am, I'm not here to argue with you. What I'm here to tell you is you're wrong. You're wrong. And if you want to be a part of this and join us, we're happy to have you, inclusively. But we're not going to have this bullshit.
But why can't I support
Because
Black
Black
lives?
lives matter no more than any other life out here. White lives don't matter any more than any other life out here.
So why?
We're not going to have you misrepresenting us and being the divisive one here. There is no divisiveness in what we've got going on.
I'm pretty
and
sure.
You want to come here for the purpose of being divisive. For the very purpose of being divisive.
I mean, you're just yelling at me, so I don't know.
What purpose of unification do you have by coming here?
Honestly, I think you don't include people in this community.
I just told you, ma'am, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to tell us what idiots we are.
But I'm not saying you guys are idiots, am I? I'm just saying that your view of patriotism is supporting law enforcement and supporting the Second Amendment.
And
there
it's
is much more than that.
Lives. It's supporting Black lives.
Then why can't
We're
I?
not
Why can't I
supporting
have
the
that?
subjugation of Black lives like you are, ma'am. You're telling Black people are so sick that they need you to fix their lives.
I'm
Go
not
back
saying
and look
that.
at Black Lives Matter, and also, go back and look at the Black Lives Matter organization, and you come back here and you tell me how many dollars the Black Lives Matter organization has given to the furtherance or the improvement of Black lives. When you want to come out here and protest a patriotic movement, come educated.
I am educated, man. You're not listening.
One bit. You're not educated here.
What's the 14th Amendment? What's the 14th Amendment?
Here. I can't repeat that to you right now.
But I thought your whole movement is about constitutional education, about civic engagement.
Oh, so you're going to ask me to do that? You're going to play that game?
No, I'm saying you're here saying this is what we support, and I'm saying that you're picking.
Are you serious? Ma'am, look. Bottom line is, we would love to have you.
But I can't. What flag can I fly? A Black Lives Matter flag?
No, ma'am.
Can I fly an LGBTQ flag?
No, ma'am.
How is that not supporting the life and liberty and justice of people in this country?
Because we fly it all under the American flag.
But
sorry, that's just the standards of the group. You're not going to make me have to explain the standards of the group. If you have an organization that is a women's reading club, and I go walking in there, and you tell me, sorry, sir, this is a women's reading club, and I say, I demand to be in here, you're going to say, sorry, sir, it's a women's reading club. Bottom line is we're trying to do something here. Go look at our value system, please.
And I just asked you about constitutional education, man. And you said I'm not going to talk about that.
No, I said I'm not going to repeat it because I don't know it. I told you very clearly I don't know it, and I'm not going to repeat it because I don't know it.
You don't know the 14th Amendment.
I have to learn just like you have to learn. Part of constitutional education, ma'am, is all of us learning together.
And I'm trying to come here and say you're exclusive. You're exclusive.
Trying to come here and be divisive. We are including you on an inclusive format.
If the American if the American flag represents all values, why do you fly Second Amendment flags? Why do you fly flags?
Because that's our constitutional right.
So is liberty and justice for all.
Right. But this is incorrect. Take this down. Leave this up.
No.
Come ride with us. Take this down. Leave that up. Come ride with us.
I think
because
the Liberty Lab.
You came here to be divisive. You came here to cause a problem. That's what you did, ma'am. I'm just telling you what you did. And you want to do that? You want to live your life as a divisive person? Every person here would have welcomed you. Welcomed you.
But I can't come with my values and my opinions, can I?
You can. You just can't fly the flag, ma'am.
So, how is that not silencing my opinion?
You're welcome to go anywhere else you want and fly whatever flag you want.
Okay, I'm sitting right here. This is where I want to be today.
Stance, then you go. Then you be here. I'm not going to tell you can't leave. It's a public place. But you came here for the purpose of causing problems with us. There was no other purpose, ma'am. Your purpose was not unity. It was not to support Black Lives Matter. It was an angry attempt. It was an angry attempt. Let me repeat that. Angry attempt.
Why? How?
To come and cause problems with us. That's exactly.
You're the one that approached me and started hassling me, man. I'm just trying to sell. I'm literally saying
Because look.
you're excluding people.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you are.
No, we're not.
You fly flags that are exclusive to, like, parts of this community.
No, we're not.
If we're excluding people, then how can we have people from 2 or 3 other countries that drive with us every lap?
I know. And I know you're filming, and I'm okay with that, so it's fine.
I mean,
Every lap we have people from other countries. How are we excluding anybody?
you're.
We have black members.
So why can't I fly a Black Lives Matter flag?
The American flag covers all people.
Then why do you have a thin blue line? Why do you have a thin blue line flag?
Support our law enforcement.
How is that not?
Not to mention, I fly the thin blue line, also the yellow line, because I'm a tow truck operator. I put my ass on the line every day on the street, and half of my family is either military or law enforcement. So if you don't like the blue line, and you don't like police officers, when something happens to you or you're in an accident, are you going to call the police?
Well, for insurance reason, we have to contact the police.
If somebody breaks in your house and pulls a gun on you, are you going to call the police, or are you just going to let them do what they want?
I mean, considering we had a robbery in our neighborhood and the police never showed up.
Okay, ma'am. Now we're.
You directly. You're not going to call the police to come help you?
That doesn't mean I don't support defunding the police. That doesn't mean I don't support police reform.
And somebody came in your house and pulled a gun on you and shot you, who are you going to call?
You don't really understand the principles of defunding police.
Trust me.
The principles of defunding the police
Are
mean
taking
very well
are
defunding
taking
the police.
are taking money away from large police precincts and districts and giving it to other services. And in the instance that there's a violent attack, then
Police-wise, let me put it this way, okay? I work in the city of San Bernardino. I tow for the San Bernardino Police Department. Do you know how many homicides and murders and cars I see every day or impound every day from a homicide and murder? And you wanted to fund that large police department?
what if there were other services for people in the community? What if we?
Okay, but who's going to go
What
and rescue
service?
you?
What service
is
are
going
you
to
going
come
to
help?
call
You want
on?
the
Let's be
military?
real honest. We're talking violent offenders. What service are you going to call on when you defund the police? This is a conversation that we need to have. And
Yeah.
look, you know what? You said I came at you angry. I apologize for that. But this is a conversation we need to have, okay? What you're doing is being, like I said to you earlier, you're being divisive. And if you want to put that away, you come with us for a day.
Do you not?
Come with us for one.
I
Let
keep.
me finish, please. Come with us for a day. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, like I said, to stand up here and speak whatever you want to say. Nobody will interrupt you. Nobody will do anything. You can say what you want to say, provided you put that away. You come join us, and you walk around and you introduce yourself to people, and you get to know some people. And if you want to change the world, you do it with us. Okay? Because you and I arguing about this will solve nothing. We are on a fast track to communism. You and I both know it. You and I both know it. And if we want to do things like defund the police with no explanation whatsoever as to why, how, and what the end result is, then you're barking up the wrong tree. Again, if you want to join us, join us. I'm going to give you some time to say what you want to say.
But I can't say Black
cannot.
Lives Matter.
No, you can say it.
Why can't I have the
I'm not gonna guarantee
sign?
what reaction you're going to get. You can say whatever you want, but I'm telling you, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to be respectful, because you're going to be talking to about 100.
How is supporting law enforcement and Second Amendment not political? Those are huge political
Those are
issues in our
basic
country.
Human rights. That's not a political argument, ma'am. That is a basic human right.
Oh, so you're a
basic
well-regulated
human
militia now.
right.
Okay.
A well-regulated militia. I haven't
doesn't
seen
even
that.
have to be a
Ma'am, are you strapping there?
You have a right. You have a right.
I appreciate your bravery.
I mean, I'm just trying to come out here and say, I see this and I think it's divisive. I think this is divisive.
You think the United States
This is not divisive.
the American flag is a divisive?
You guys are flying more than the American flag. That's the issue I have.
Yes, we are.
This is America. Are you in the wrong country? This is America.
I'm not.
Go to another country.
I'm just saying that some of the symbols you are flying can be seen as aggressive and divisive.
Then you come and join us and show, just like the rest of us are, that they're not aggressive and divisive.
But I think
the
they
American
are.
flag, ma'am, is not an aggressive and divisive symbol.
I'm not saying the American flag
American
itself.
let me
I'm
tell you
saying
what
the law
American flag
enforcement
stands for. It
and the
stands for
Second
freedom.
Amendment.
Stands for your right to stand here and be divisive. in the
I'm
way
not
that you
arguing
are.
against
It's-
that.
The Constitution.
I believe in the Constitution. What? When did I say that?
Okay,
You told
believe
me
in
we
the
were a
Constitution. You believe in the Constitution.
I believe in the Constitution, but this is selecting and choosing which liberties that you get to celebrate
It
here.
covers all
Oh, there is.
No, there's not.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Give me a flag for freedom of speech.
Well, you can celebrate the First Amendment. What about free speech? Why can't Black Lives Matter be free speech flag? Why can't the LGBTQ flag be a free speech flag?
You're working on the assumption that we don't care about black lives.
It is
we
a
have black
divisive
people
racist
in this group.
But then why can't I fly the flag?
Of what?
Because it's a divisive, racist group.
So is law enforcement. I'm
No, it is
sorry.
not. You are wrong, ma'am. You are wrong.
The
you need
thin.
to understand your
Can I
statistics.
have-
You cannot say
can
law
I-
enforcement is a racist organization. I'm sorry. Not going to listen to that.
Police
kind of
was originally formulated as slave patrols. That's the original origins of policing. And guess what? It's still kind of the same social construct.
By the way, that was taken away with the Fourth Amendment, one of the amendments you were talking about. One of the amendments we're going to be here talking about today.
The people that have problems with police are the ones that want to fight against them and not comply to their orders.
No.
Let me ask you something. If a Black Lives Matter person was getting beat up and there was a police officer there, do you think the police officer would stop them from getting beat up?
I've seen police officers not do it.
Do you think the police would stop and try to protect that person who was getting beat up?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, well then you obviously you've had a bad experience with police. Nobody's going to sit here and say there aren't bad cops. I understand that.
So why can't we reform the police department?
Because what you're wanting to do in reforming the police.
Step in on this. My father-in-law was a cop.
I was a police
My
officer.
father-in-law was a cop, and he, San Bernardino PD, great guy, and he dealt with a lot of crap. But he was a great cop. He didn't deal with it the way there's some bad cops out there. No, don't get me wrong. But everybody has their opinion on situations. And I understand your thought on everything, Black Lives Matter. I agree. Every life matters.
But the thing is, right now, Black lives are being targeted and facing more violence and aggression from the police and from the state. So
I think you're right.
So that's all Black Lives Matter is.
I think they are targeted. And the reason is because there's more crime in that color. But that's not. There's good and bad and all. There's good and bad and all.
But simply saying that black people are just criminals and so they deserve.
No. There's great black people. There's good black people out there. But cramming it down everybody's throat, everybody. You know what?
It's divisive, man. It's divisive.
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that nobody can get together. Our government can't get together. Democrats, Republicans, they can't sit down. Grown men can't sit down and say, okay, why can't we just talk about this and figure it out? They have to fight.
Last year there was 3,200 deaths that were police related in the United States. You know how many of those were black?
Not off the top of my head.
17.
Okay.
Out of 3,200.
And you know,
And how many of those were armed?
And how many of those were
you know,
armed?
the thing is, throwing numbers at somebody that has an opinion is wrong.
No, I don't know where he got these numbers from. I'd love to see a source. I don't really know.
Go to the national crime statistics. 3,200 people were killed last year in the line of duty by police officers. 17 of those were black. 17. All right, and some of those were armed. Some of those might not have been armed, but they could have led to.
So doesn't the Fifth Amendment say you get a right to a trial, a fair trial?
Okay, let me ask you.
So.
Can I ask you a question?
Sir, can you please back up a little bit?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't want to give you COVID. Okay.
I mean, I'm just.
No, but listen. You are sitting here not worried about anything. A police officer is in a different situation.
I agree with that.
Entirely different situation. What we can logically sit here and say, oh, he should have done that, he should have done that.
Why don't you just go to a park? Why do you have to drive around town?
Because.
And the thing is, if you guys stayed in one location.
Go to a Black Lives Matter
But don't listen to
I have!
You're saying to us that it's okay for us to gather if we gather in a way that is acceptable to you. If we go gather.
But you're saying you're not divisive, but you drive around town
Yes, we do.
into different communities.
Yes, we do.
You drive by my house. I'm tired of seeing it.
Well, then, if you're tired of seeing us, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm trying to voice my opinion, man.
And that's fine. And we give you the right
And
to
we're
do that.
welcome to, and I invite
And I'll tell you what, if I was doing this at a Black Lives
I'm
Matter,
happy. Yeah, I'm happy to talk for 3 minutes.
if I was doing the same thing at a Black Lives Matter group that you're doing here, I'd have my head beat in.
What would you say at a
I'll
Black
tell you-
Lives Matter
I'll tell
meter
you,
that
the
have a right
the man
to do
is
this.
right.
That we have
You wouldn't be offered an opportunity to speak. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
have you been to a Black Lives Matter protest?
No, I haven't.
But I've seen plenty
Because
of them.
Black Lives
But you
Matter
haven't been there.
protests are racists. They are racist against
How-
the black community.
No.
We're
Then
not-
then
we're
how?
not on
Why
the
is
same
it?
plane.
Why is it black people organizing them? Why are black people heading the movement for Black Lives Matter?
Lady,
Who are the people that are organizing it for
this
Black
has
Lives Matter?
nothing to do.
Black
Check into their
people.
background.
I got something for you.
What the fuck, man?
No, you're not part of this.
No, I have
Sorry.
every
No, you do
I have
not.
every right. What the fuck is wrong with you?
This is
What the
what's wrong.
fuck is wrong with you?
You are not racist. You are fucking racist.
You guys really come at me so aggressive.
No, it shouldn't be
I could
that
just
way.
sit here and voice my opinion, man.
That way. It shouldn't be that way. We're doing something. This isn't about Black Lives Matter. This is about our freedom. Country.
But it-
Everybody, black, white, Mexican. We said. That's
So
what it's
why
about.
can't I fly a
think
Black
we're
Lives
taking
Matter
way too
flag?
much time. I really do.
I mean,
We're-
what's the
we've been
problem?
arguing, we've been talking.
If Black Lives Matter,
Yeah, we're just taking
It's
way
not
too
If-
much
about that. This is
how is
about
Black
that.
Lives Matter not celebrating the
How-
14th Amendment?
How is this about Black Lives Matter?
You're celebrating liberty, right? Liberty in the Constitutional
Liberty
Amendment.
for everybody.
And
argued it.
Oh, have you?
I mean, I just don't understand.
Do you like your liberty?
I'm not arguing against that.
I'm just gonna
This is what we're
I'm
doing.
just gonna rescind the 3 minutes, I guess.
Okay.
Because we're just carrying on. And
I mean,
I just need to rescind it. You do whatever you want with your signs. Seriously.
they
I
were
have to
ripped
tell you,
off.
I have to give you mad props because you came out here and you did this. And I'll tell you one of the reasons you did it, in my view. You did it because you knew that we're peaceful people. You knew that we would do nothing.
You have flags with rifles on it saying "Come and take it." How is that peaceful?
That's right.
What
Yes, ma'am.
rifles?
How is that peaceful?
Again, I'm not going to argue anymore. The 3 minutes is.
That's it.
But the thing is, it's not. It's not all American flags. The thin blue line flag was created after the in retaliation of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Well, that shouldn't be flown.
Yes, it was.
Been around
Yes,
for
it was.
a long time. At least 10 years. You're wrong.
Do you know when Black Lives Matter protests started?
I'm going to tell you that
Seriously, on all the.
You guys are the ones keep coming over here and talking to me.
You're right.
I
okay. All right.
I mean, I'm happy to.
I just hope.
That's fine, man.
I just hope.
Kind of out of control.
I
and-
just hope.
I mean, yeah, people are really upset, and
Because they see their liberty being taken away from groups like this.
I'm not. How is Black Lives taking away people's liberty?
Give yourself 10 years and see if you feel the same way.
No, I'm asking you. You think Black Lives Matter is taking away
First of
people's
all,
liberties? How?
Have you actually researched what Black Lives Matter is?
Yes, I have.
Okay, have you checked out the relationship with the Communist Party with George Soros? Who's funding that department? Who, if you donated to Black Lives Matter, it went straight to the Democratic Party on their website? Have you checked that?
Guys, I want to say one thing real fast. Since we're sharing opinions about things, I want to share with you that I personally believe that Black Lives Matter is a racist organization. They do nothing for the black community. They do nothing for anybody else. They are a racist organization. There you go.
Not the same organization, racist organization, absolutely.
I hope some of our black people that you're still here come up and they can discuss it with you. Because we've had several black people involved in this.
That's great. That doesn't.
No, there's a difference of opinion among blacks. I understand that. But the ones that have the difference of opinion that are running this operation have no desire. If Black Lives Matter, why aren't they protesting in Chicago where blacks are killing blacks?
So you're saying only black on black
No,
crime
no.
is a problem?
Why, but that's where the majority of the killings are coming in Chicago are black on black crime. Why aren't they doing something about that? Why aren't they doing something about it in or in South Central Los Angeles?
Do you not think black community members are organizing to try and stop
Black
violent crime?
community members, but not this group.
How
Not this group.
black community members
Why is it
support
that
Black Lives
why is
Matter?
it the gangs
How is that
the
different?
gangs of LA refused to support them when they came into Compton during the election? Why did they say
I-
get out?
I don't know where that's coming from, so I can't.
Well, you got to check this stuff because the black gangs of Los Angeles would not allow Black Lives Matter to protest in Compton. They would not allow them in there. Not. This is not about black lives. This is about division. This is about getting blacks against whites.
No,
Only
it's
black
fighting
lives-
for equality for
Then
black
why is it
people.
when you say brown lives matter, they get upset? Why is it
Who
say,
who
why-
says that?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm.
There's been people throwing off networks because they said that.
They've said brown lives matter.
Or white lives matter.
White lives matter. White people are not under attack by systematic racism in this country.
There's no systematic racism in this country.
Do you
And
do
there
you
hasn't been for a long
do you
time.
do you understand what systematic racism
Do
means?
you understand what
I
systematic?
do.
Okay, your systematic racism is an operation that is carried out throughout a country where everybody, companies, all organizations are working against a particular group of people. That's not happening.
It doesn't have to be all. It doesn't have to be every single member. It doesn't have to be all organizations. It's
Systematic racism means it is going on with every place. Schools,
yeah.
churches.
Why? Yeah. Why are schools in black communities underfunded?
Ask the Democratic Party because they've been funded unbelievably and they don't get it to it. It goes to teachers' unions.
So
They don't get that.
so everything is the Democrats. That's
Well,
the problem.
That's who's running the country right now.
And who
that's
was running the
exactly-
country for the
and
last
it-
4 years?
And tell me what you thought was wrong with Trump.
I'm not going to get into that.
No, because there wasn't anything. You had the lowest minority unemployment rate in the history of the United States. You had the lowest women's unemployment rate in the history of the United States. You had no wars in the Middle East. You had
We're still in the Middle East. Trump
Because-
bombed countries in the Middle East.
How many wars were going on? How many?
3?
None.
Okay.
There were no wars going on during Trump's administration. None.
All right, man. I'm
And
not
he
going
was
to sit
getting
here and
people out of Afghan-
I'm not going to argue
troop-
about Trump because
the troops were going to be out of Afghanistan May the 1st. Biden extended the troop extension to September 11th. Interesting date. He extended it to September 11th. Trump pulled all the funding for Iran away. Biden gave it all back. Now you've got a war going on with Israel and Iran. Why? Because they're getting funds to.
that's yeah. I don't want to talk about Trump right now.
You asked why the Democratic Party, and I'm telling you why.
Well,
the
because you
Democratic-
keep blaming all issues on Democrats.
Hi there,
Hey,
sir. How are you?
Good. How are you? No,
I mean,
but if you look at it,
Right here?
just look at the history. The Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is what? It's a leftist organization now. It's not the Democratic Party of old. It's not Tip O'Neill. It's not that. It's not negotiating with anybody. The Democratic Party is far left. They have been taken over by the far left wing. Nobody's going to do anything for the country.
I mean, a dude came up and attacked me and grabbed my
because there's
signs.
people that
So yeah, I'm a
they've
little
got-
on edge after
they've
that.
They've got kids, and they're watching what's happening to the country right now.
I'm just coming here and saying you're excluding people by only flying these flags. If you want to just support America and
that's
all of our
fine.
liberties, then just fly the American flag. Why do you have to fly flags for the Second Amendment? Why do you have to fly flags
Because that
for
American
law
flag
enforcement?
stands for all those things too.
And how does the American flag not stand for Black Lives Matter? Why can't I fly a Black Lives Matter
American
flag?
gives constitutional rights to every person, regardless of race, creed, or color. All right. Black Lives Matter has distinguished themselves separate. They are the ones that have separated themselves from everybody else. They're the ones that have separated. The United States didn't say, white people didn't say, we're excluding black lives. Nobody wants to see anybody killed. Nobody wants to see anybody discriminated against. Not in this group. We've got people.
You guys are discriminating against Black Lives Matter.
No, we're not.
And why can't I fly an LGBTQ flag?
Well, because that's a political situation.
How is gun rights and law enforcement support
Because that's
not?
part of the Constitution.
So you're saying LGBTQ rights, Black Lives Matter, immigrant rights, that
is encompassed in the American flag. We are specifically talking about, with some of the flags that are flying here, the thankfulness that we have law enforcement and police and firefighters and first responders of other nature, ambulance drivers, that come out against all odds and in sometimes hazardous conditions to save your life.
I mean, I'm not arguing against firefighters or tow truck
But
drivers,
that's all part of this.
but
That's all part of it.
I'm saying why do you have to fly the thin blue line flag and the Second Amendment
Because
flag?
we believe that the police officers should be respected.
Even if they're bad people? Even if they break the law themselves?
Even that United States flag respects all people, but they're bad people in the United States.
So
But we
all
fly
I'm
that flag to cover everybody. But the police, the fire, are undergoing a lot right now. I mean, look at what's happening in Portland. Look what's happening in Seattle. You've got a 20% amount of people that have left the city of Portland and the city of Seattle because they're not getting any support. We support those people.
I mean, the police just shot an unarmed homeless man in a Portland park. That's what people are upset about.
But
So
first of
all I'm saying,
we don't know what was going on, okay?
so you believe the cops when they say this black man was armed, so we had to kill him, but you don't believe the cops.
Until I see the facts. But what happens is you get somebody that gets shot, and you automatically assume because the police officer shot him that it was the police officer's fault. It may not be the police officer's fault.
That's what came out after the fact,
I
though.
was a
That's what
police
I'm.
officer.
Okay.
Is it with the court yet? Huh? Is it with the court yet?
It happened like a month ago, so I don't think there's time.
But I was a police officer. I was in situations where I could have pulled the trigger, and I did. But if I pulled the trigger and I shot somebody and he was unarmed, I would probably have to undergo some type of an investigation as to what happened. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, there's a lot of situations that seem innocent. That, oh, the guy was unarmed. But you don't know what led up to that. Guy going his thing to get a gun. By the time you realize whether it's a gun or not, you're dead. And they have to make those split-second decisions. And they're not easy decisions to make. Somebody has to do it.
But all I'm saying is you're saying you're not divisive, you're not political, but you fly political flags. The Thin Blue Line flag and the Second Amendment flags, they are political. Gun control is a huge political issue.
Yeah, for the Constitution, Second Amendment.
And so is the 14th Amendment saying life and liberty in pursuit of happiness for everyone.
And every black
So what?
And everyone falls under that flag.
I mean,
Everyone falls under that flag.
so why can't you just fly the American flag? If everything is covered by the American flag, then why are there other flags out here? That's all I'm asking.
Because those people are part of the country and we're supporting them.
So I have to support cops and Second Amendment to be paid.
No.
This isn't socialist.
You can support or not.
It's 100%
How?
communism right there.
How is communism?
They're Marxist.
If I
You know
came
who
out
leads them, who started them, they're all Marxists.
If I came out with a sign that said White Lives Matter, what would you say?
I would say, okay, here's the difference. White people in this country are not oppressed by systematic racism.
They are now.
How?
They are now.
How?
Have you seen the number of people that can't get jobs because they disagree with this?
I mean,
Who's thrown off of Facebook, Twitter, everything else?
Because they disagree with that?
They
Because
don't
they
agree
say
with
I
that?
mean, the thing is, you can say, well, I think Black Lives Matter should operate in a different
If
way.
I-
But if you come out here and say, oh, Black Lives Matter are racist and black people are, are less equal than white people,
Nobody's saying that.
there.
Who says that here?
Well, there's people that say a lot of things. There's individuals.
We have members. But you know,
But I'm saying,
in America, though, if you want to be a racist, you can be a racist.
yeah, and you can face consequences.
No.
Why not?
There's freedom of speech. There
Yeah.
used to be. There used to be.
There's still
I
freedom
don't
of
agree with
speech.
it, but no, there isn't. There is not freedom of speech anymore.
What is this? What is this then?
Because we're allowed to do it. If I did the same thing at that group, I'd be beat up.
Because I'm saying White Lives Matter is
If I go down
racist.
with a sign that says White Lives Matter to that group, I'm getting my ass kicked.
So, okay, Black Lives Matter is just saying they want equality and justice for black.
That's not what they're doing. They're communists.
And so that's all they're asking for. And so when people,
Followers might think that, but the leaders are Marxists and they want to overthrow the government. Is what they want
And,
to
you,
do.
and you're
I think that's a very small section.
They say it.
one of
Have you
your-
listened to
one
the
of your-
leaders speak?
one of
Who,
your.
That's what they
what
say.
leader are you talking about?
That black female named, I can't remember her name.
how about
but
the-
the one that owns 4 or 5 mansions?
Yeah,
now.
the one that took all the donations
Yeah,
for
took all
Black
the
Lives
donations
Matter.
about mansions.
to buy
I
the-
honestly don't know who you're talking
Okay,
about, so I
Well,
can't.
You don't know of the group,
It's
do you?
one of your organizers.
It's one of the ones that started.
Okay.
Letitia
Do you,
Sealer or something like that.
do you think everyone saying Black Lives Matter is a part of this larger organization? Do you think they
Well,
adhere
you're
to?
feeding into that though.
You
You're-
have a point right there. There are people that are trying to protect the black lives, and they have been targeted by bad cops. And I'm sorry, but it's happened. It's happened. Because my father-in-law was a cop, and I'm very good. My uncle's a cop. There's good cops and there's bad cops. There's good people, there's bad people. I agree with what you're saying, but this is not supposed to be about that. What this is supposed to be, and when I joined it, It was people flying the American flag. I know you keep bringing up the other flags, but they shut down politics. They didn't want a Trump flag. They didn't want whatever. They didn't want any of that. This is about just our freedom for us to be able to enjoy our
flag
life.
parade I was at, a lady came out with the Confederate flag. We stopped her.
Yep.
We took the Confederate flag down
You
because
can't
we
do
said that's
that.
not.
What I'm saying is, some of these flags can be seen political to other people.
Sure.
So that's all I'm trying to say is.
Everybody has their opinion. Everybody does.
But no, I'm saying
This is very
flag.
political. This
Yeah.
is very
How is this different than a thin blue line flag?
This isn't a Black Lives Matter protest. One side
I'm
or the
celebrating the life and liberty and pursuit of happiness of all people.
other. You're welcome to. Everybody's
That's part of the Constitution.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why you're not getting beat up. I mean, really. Because like I said, if I went down
Did you hear
to a
when they-
Black
when they
Lives
came up
Matter
and
group
protested?
with White Lives Matter, I would
guys
get my
were
ass.
looking
And the guys were, I was standing there. I wouldn't
I'm
deal
sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying.
with it. I said, were you here when they protested on Yucaipa Boulevard?
By Arco.
I couldn't make that one.
Okay. Well, they tried breaking out my window. They tried to break. I was pulling out, and the guy came up and tried to break. I had to jump out and stop him from breaking my window of my
See,
car.
there's good and
And
bad
they yelled
in
us.
all
And my
races.
friend's looking for her her license that she lost the night before. And all of a sudden, this black female came up, grabbed her water bottle, had her own water bottle, started shaking it like this, going, "Suck my dick, you motherfucking white person." That's who was leading that protest that day.
But see, there's good and bad. in
But
all.
that's the thing. That's
one person.
but
Or
that's.
one group.
They turned on. We were just there watching what was going on. And
I mean,
they turned on us,
but you have to understand that when people come out and say Black Lives Matter, we want to have a protest, and a bunch of people show up to counter protest.
Oh yeah, no, it happens. It happens, no doubt. And now,
So,
okay,
I mean-
see what you just said. We're just about our freedom, and you come in here saying that.
But
You're trying to shut it down because same thing.
You need to do your research. That is a Marxist
Yeah, it really
organization.
is.
I mean,
You look at the leaders. Look at
I
the
think
leaders.
that's an
who started it.
extreme view, and
No,
I
it's
think
not.
I think you need to diversify your information. I think you need to diversify your information.
There might be a lot of legitimate people in that group. There might be.
That's true.
But your leadership is far, far left. And they're playing you guys for suckers.
Left, right. You don't get into politics about it. This is about our freedom. That's all.
I mean, I had other signs that saying liberty and justice for all, and that got ripped away.
Okay,
All
and you
lives
got,
That-
you got hate.
But the thing is, right now, Black lives are facing a worse experience in this
agree.
country. So that's why Black Lives Matter is just trying to highlight
I
that.
agree
FBI
100%.
statistics on people of color being shot and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's
You'll
what
be
you're
surprised.
telling her.
You'll be surprised. The narrative by the
So because
media is wrong.
You
okay? It's
probably
a lie.
watch CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, those stations, and probably don't look or listen to
There's more
anything
people
else.
in
And
America
I'm telling
shoving things
there's
up
got to
their
be a
rectum
reason
than
they're having
being
to
shot by
retract
cops.
all their stories
Okay?
all the time.
You can
There's
sit
got to
here.
be a
You can
reason.
sit
There's
down here all
250,000
night
people
and
die a
argue
year of
left and
malpractice.
right. You know, right and wrong. And I see her point 100% because a black man that gets pulled over is treated different than a white man.
yes, they are,
Yes,
and
they
I
that's.
was a cop for 18 years. That's a bunch of bullshit.
But okay,
There may be a racist cop every once in a while, okay?
Okay.
But there's a racist black person, there's a racist Asian person, okay? But we do not go out every day looking to shoot somebody,
No.
okay? You know what
Nobody-
happens to us
nobody
when we
wants
get in that
that.
situation?
Nobody
we get in
wants that.
trouble.
Nobody wants
Okay, you
that.
lose your job.
Like I said, my father-in-law and my
Bunch of
uncle's a cop.
garbage.
My uncle and my dad, my uncle and my father-in-law were a cop, and they went through shit, Watts and everything. And I have another buddy who's a cop, and I feel for him. That's why I buy the cop flag, because I feel for everything you have to deal with. Now, what she's saying is she's trying to protect them, which I do understand. But I don't care who you are, what color you are. What is it? You don't know. What is it? You don't
Right.
know.
That happened to me. I
And
had to
they
shoot the guy.
have to
And
be
I had to shoot
trained
the
to
guy.
take care of that. And that's where it comes from.
In a
And
split second, in about
you don't have
2
that
seconds
second.
or whatever,
You want
I
to go
had to
home
shoot
to
a
your
guy.
family.
And
you
as
know?
far as your
Fight about this.
as far as your sign being ripped off, we're sorry about that. But you have to understand too, there's a lot of people here that are very passionate about this. And they see, especially the ones with kids, they see their country going down the tubes really quick. And those kids have to survive in this place. and they take this very personal because they see groups like this talk about being divisive as being divisive.
So how do you think I feel seeing people flying the same flags that insurrectionists flew? How do you not?
So you're talking about the January 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
have you researched the January 6th insurrection, as you call it?
it was an insurrection.
Okay. Who invited them into the Capitol?
They didn't get invited.
Yes, they did. Have you seen the videos?
I mean, there was the Trump rally that invited them.
Have you seen the videos of the Capitol Police and the fella that's with Black Lives Matter and the Antifa fella that was dressed in Trump stuff?
So you're saying all those people were?
No, they were in there. They were people in there. What I'm saying was they make it sound like they pushed down the doors and ran in there. That wasn't what happened.
So I mean, all right, man. I'm not. We're on a very different plane, so I'm not going to argue about that. Hey, I just, I would like to see some Black Lives Matter flags, some LGBTQ flags. If we're celebrating life, liberty and justice.
You guys are more than welcome to come and join us. We're not anything.
But we've been told multiple times you can't fly Black Lives Matter flags.
Why don't you come and join us, Black Lives Matter, and fly
But
American
that's
flags?
awesome you're here. Congrats. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks for giving us more protest out here. So thanks.
I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to protest. I'm just trying to say, like, you excluding people in this community.
Including anyone, honey. You guys are more than
I just,
welcome to come here.
yeah. The thing is, if I can't celebrate my beliefs and my opinions,
It's a free country. You can celebrate.
Yeah.
Every one of us,
It's not worth it.
every one of
She
us,
has her opinions. We
every
have
one
ours.
of us that's sitting in their cars, not yelling out, down with Black Lives Matter.
I got called a fucking bitch. That's what I got called by someone in this group.
Today?
No, a couple days ago. A couple laps ago.
Well, I don't know. Did you have a sign up or something? I mean, I've been doing this thing
I'm
since
not happy with this group. Okay, I think they're trying to overthrow the government. I don't know you. You might be the sweetest person in the world. Okay, but that group, I hate them.
So,
Okay?
I mean,
and I'll tell you that because they've over and over they call for the death of law enforcement officers. They came up here. They were going to burn down our freaking business up here.
Who said that? Who said that?
They were doing it.
Who,
They were doing
Do
it.
you have any?
did anyone get arrested for
I watch
attempting
them on
to
TV
burn?
marching, going pigs, fry them like bacon, kill cops. all that
Because
kind of
if
stuff.
cops are killing black people,
You're
Sam, you're
wrong.
wrong again.
You're wrong again.
I'm coming back. I keep saying it, but
You know what, I
you
think
just are
you
absolutely.
I mean, you guys are saying that.
You gotta look up statistics. Just don't follow these leaders. These leaders are Marxists.
Don't
And I'm not just saying that.
don't
They
just
come
go
out
with
and they
the
are
garbage.
Marxists.
I mean,
Honestly, let's go to a vote.
You're welcome to come down and join us.
oh no, I got told I couldn't. So
You can come down and join us. I don't know whether he's going to
But
let
you
you
need to do your
speak.
research.
But if you want, yeah, I mean that's.
you know what? There can be people in corrupt organizations. I'm not disagreeing with you. All right, but I'm saying the statement of Black Lives.
The founders of that movement are Marxists and they want to overthrow the government.
Your own leader of that group came out and said she's a Marxist.
But
She
see,
came out and said
this
it.
is there's
And
two
I'm just saying,
sides,
do your
and it's
research,
never
okay?
going
You have
to
a nice
end.
friend, and you
It's
believe
never
in your
gonna
cause
end.
passion, and that's
All
fine.
lives
That's
matter.
fine.
God
Yeah,
make us
I agree too. All lives matter. Why
What
would you-
colors? I'm from Europe. From Spanish, okay?
From a communist country.
I came from the communist country. I know what those guys they stand for.
But
You guys are being lied to.
I mean,
You're being lied to. You really are. You've got to.
did you ever think that maybe you're getting corrupt information? Is that? I agree.
I grew up in the
news.
communists. Don't tell me what it is.
No.
Because I know.
more than us.
I know that. I know.
And they're communists.
You can tell me.
And they're also
You never been there or live in the
But what they
communism.
say on they
I was
say themselves.
arrested and interrogated.
And all
You're all-
this is-
and that's what you guys are gonna be.
To support our
Don't worry about it. They're gonna turn their back on you, because that's the way they do. Until they manipulate.
And I'm telling you, check your leader. She's on video. You don't have to search very hard. She comes out and says she's a Marxist. She says
I want
it.
to know you. We love you in the way you are.
I mean, the thing
We
is,
respect your standing, but you have to respect what we stand for liberty.
all I'm just saying is you guys could be more inclusive.
Anybody can join our group.
But you can't. But we can't.
Come with us. I don't care.
But why can't I? All I'm saying is, it would be great if I could fly a Black Lives Matter flag. If I could find an LGBTQ flag.
That's false, man. Your sign is false.
That is against
Why?
the United States.
This
That's
is
not
this
border.
is
No politics.
But
It's
okay.
association
before the
So-
overthrow of this country.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying
They
is
hate America.
people
They hate
people see the
America.
thin blue line in the Second Amendment flags as political. You guys don't see it that way.
I don't agree with flying a flag that disrespects anything else. I agree with flying my American flag and my cotton flag. That's what I agree with, and that's what I do.
And okay,
And I was invited to this group to do that, and now it's
Cool.
slammed. This comes down my throat now. You know, I don't
so
understand.
okay, all I'm saying is people see the thin blue line flag
Right.
as political and aggressive. So the cop,
That's who they're gonna call it.
Ma'am?
Stand for talk to this guy.
Let's get a picture with us. We just want a picture. I'll give it right back.
no man, no.
Wait, hold on. Define black. Define black.
What
I'm a minister. Define, when you say Black Lives Matter, define black.
black people?
Huh?
Black people.
I'm black?
Yeah.
Why am I black? Black is the color of my shoes and my pants.
So
But I was born in the South. I am a person of color and a minister. When you say Black Lives Matter, police lives matter, everybody lives matter. Define black. You just told me I'm black. My skin is brown. My wife sits over there. My children serve in the military. We was born in the United States of America. There's no separate. All lives matter here. See what's going on? What's going on with the media and things that's happening? Let me tell you something. Here she comes. She's gonna come over here. I grew up in South Central LA. Came out of Arkansas. You understand what I'm saying? Was on the right side all the time, listening to certain things that people was telling us by separating us. Because guess what? If we can't talk, we can't understand each other. Okay? So
Yeah.
the thing is, why should you say Black Lives Matter when my son-in-law lives in Chicago, served in the military, south side of Chicago, and they killing people every day? So do our lives matter when we take each other?
I mean,
No, answer my question. Do our lives matter when we take each other? It
yes.
doesn't.
What?
It doesn't, because if our lives matter, why should we kill each other? The color of our skin, why should we kill each other?
It's racism. They love racism.
And you know what?
I had other signs, but they were ripped away.
No, listen.
But if Black Lives Matter, go to South Central LA right now
Where she grew
and
up.
look at the homeless population.
Come on,
Why
baby,
isn't
talk
Black
about
Lives
the
Matter
Tent City.
helping the homeless?
They should.
And they're black.
They should.
Okay?
They
so
should.
Black Lives
Tent
Matter,
City,
the
we
leader,
was down there
should be
to cheer 'em
helping
up.
those people.
They should.
So that's my neighborhood.
I-
The Black lives are suffering.
took the
You
$1 million
go to South
and
Central
took
and
and
just
bought
drive
her a
through
home.
by the freeway. It's nothing
Exactly,
but black
thank you.
homeless
All
people.
lives matter.
Tell the Black Lives Matter leader to help the black lives that matter.
That's
They
living on the
should.
street.
They should. I'm not saying that.
But they're not. But they're not. And you can put me on that. Let me tell you something. I grew up. Let me tell you something. Hold on, baby.
She just bought a house
Okay.
in Malibu.
Can I say something? Can
Black
I
Lives Matter, the lady just bought an estate, not even a house.
can
an estate
I
in
please say
Malibu.
something? Can I please say something? That's not okay. That's not okay that she's taking people's money and benefiting
I
benefiting
asked you
for
a question,
herself.
you never answered
It should help the
I
community.
asked her a question,
The Black
she
Lives
never
Matter
answered.
that I
Define
support are
Liberate them by giving them a second chance
They
to
should.
live.
They should.
Okay, but they're
I
not. They're not.
I don't agree with the large
And you should
organization.
have that sign because they're not helping Black lives. That matters.
Hey,
But
Deborah,
can I personally not say?
I'm from LA.
Deborah, are you
Can I
guys
just
so
say
dumb
something?
that
I'm
you
not
need
gonna-
us white people to lift you up? Are you so dumb that you need us to lift you up?
I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just
That's
trying to
what this
stand
is
here and agree with people that Black lives should get a second chance. They should get help. They shouldn't be left behind.
They're not. Let's deal with the facts. They're not.
Okay.
They're not.
Okay.
So don't. I'm just saying. Let's keep it
When
real.
you don't
That's why
understand,
we're
let me tell you
keeping it real.
something.
We're from the hood.
I grew up on 111 Broadway. Look at it. I was on the blue side of town. If my life mattered, if I walk across the bridge and have my blue rag, they bust me in the head.
But do you know she just
My life don't matter to them.
not even a house in Malibu.
Do my life matter to you?
Yes.
Does their lives matter?
Yeah.
So why
but
can't we come
but-
together? Why can't we come together, love on each other like we're supposed to? We're
right
all
here.
Americans.
Go to LA.
We're all Americans
By the freeway.
and understand each other. We understand each other. What's happening is that if we can't come together in reason, the Bible said come together in reason. So I would know my brother and I would know my sister. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
if our lives matter to each other, why do we kill each other? Answer that.
Okay, so why did Ahmaud Arbery get killed? Why did he get killed by 2 white people running in his own neighborhood?
Let me ask you a question. Let me take you back to history, because guess what? I'm born in 1963, 57, when they say, check this out. When a lot of people, what you say, black people, white people, march